When Hurricane Andrew struck Homestead, I was in the Florida Senate, and Governor Childs and I went to Homestead, Florida to view the damage. We went to Homestead Air Force Base. We saw military construction that was built to withstand 165-mile-an-hour sustained winds destroyed. The biggest surprise was looking up and seeing a gigantic hole in the tower that was about 40 feet off the ground. And the colonel that was leading us, I said, "Colonel, what made the hole?" And he looked at me stone cold and said, "A Volkswagen." That really makes an impression on you about the power of some of these storms. And as a state, we learned a lot from Hurricane Andrew. The insurance industry learned a lot. They learned that they needed to do a better job of controlling their exposure to risk. We live in an area that's prone to hurricanes, and hurricanes by their very nature are unpredictable. My family had been insurance people their whole lives, and I felt that we could fill a need for Floridians. So I decided after I got out of the Senate to start a homeowners insurance company. We have a single-minded focus on Florida property business. That's all we do, and we hope to do it better than any other company in Florida.
We have that example for you to look at. A house bought in August of 2012, right after Biggett-Waters was signed. The premium is $514. Okay, and the reason that and the problem of this house is the flood elevation in Ormond Beach is 5 feet. The house is 6.5 feet above sea level, but the garage is 2 inches below 5 feet. So it's a 2-inch below grade. So that means that the rate on that home is, when it renews, is going to go to $5,000. Okay? It's going to go to $4,522 a year. Now, what's the answer to that problem? Well, we think it might be to put 2 more inches of concrete in the garage, or it might be to put in a flood holes in the garage. But the private sector's answer to that problem would be to exclude coverage for the garage, increase the deductible, limit the coverage somehow. What are the benefits to the public of privatization? And they talk about innovation, reduction of the uninsured exposure, and alignment of individual flood risks with what people want. Why hasn't the private sector participated in this? As a private company, if we wanted to copy everything that the feds did, they probably would approve it. But if we came up with a new program, we would have a problem. And my classic example of this goes back to the realtors. When we were talking to them in 2008, every single realtor in Florida said, "We would love to get insurance on vacant homes because we have 1 million vacant homes and we can't get insurance on them." And we said, "Fine, we will write insurance on security first policies for a 50% surcharge." And we went to the OIR and said, "Will you approve that?" And they said, "Where's your past experience?" "We don't have any because there's never been 1 million vacant homes in Florida." Well, where did you get these rates? We said, "Well, that's about what is charged in the excess and surplus lines market." "Well, can you get us the experience from those people?" And the answer was, "No, they're not going to give us their experience." Well, we're sorry, we can't approve it. So today we do not write vacant homes on our admitted paper because you have the classic catch-22 situation where, because you can't prove it, you can't write it.
In 1918, my great-great-grandfather started an insurance agency in Des Moines, Iowa, and that was probably the start of my family's history in insurance.
In 1960, my mom and dad decided to start their own business. They moved to Ormond Beach and started a reinsurance business.
I guess you could say insurance runs deep in our family.
Security First is a Florida company. It's owned by Floridians. The employees are Floridians. We're based in Florida. We'd like people to know that we are focused on taking care of Floridians. That's our only job. And I hope that my daughter and my granddaughters will continue that tradition.